Okay, so you want to make a Minecraft server, but don't know how because Mojang is kind of dumb and wants you to buy Realms, even though that's kind of dumb. So this is how you do it. You go to Minecraft.net, and please use Chrome, else some of the steps will be a little different, and then it just gets more confusing. And Chrome seems to work good, so Chrome. So go to Minecraft.net, and then you're going to want to go over here to Menu, and then you click that, and then go down here to Trial and Download. Click that. And then I'm assuming that you already have the game of Minecraft downloaded, but if you don't, you can get it here. But what we want is there's this play with your friends thing, and then you want to click set up your own Minecraft server. And now once we're here, we want to click this green download link. And that's downloading the actual server file. And now we can see it just downloaded. It might take a little longer depending on your internet connection. And you want to click keep because this file won't harm your computer no matter what Windows wants to tell you. So we click that, and then click the little arrow and do show in folder. And I'm just going to minimize Chrome a minute, but do keep this page open because we're going to need this red text back here in a second. I'm just going to minimize that for now. I'm going to minimize that. Here's this. So now I have Minecraft server 1.12.1.jar, and just drag that onto your desktop for a minute, and you can close out of this. And now what you want to do is right click somewhere on your desktop, go down to new, and then go over to folder, and then just name it something so that you know what it is so you can get back to it later. I'm just going to call mine Minecraft server video. Sure. So now drag the file that we just downloaded into that folder, and then open up the folder, and you can see there it is. So now what we need to do is go, so do not double click that yet. We go back to Chrome, and then this red text here, we want to copy it. So highlight it, Control C, and then go back to the folder there. I'll minimize this again. And then we want to right click, new text document, and then just name it start. So you know that's what you use to start the server. And then we're going to double click that, open it up, and then paste what we just copied in. So Control V. So now what this is, excuse me, is this is essentially telling Minecraft how much RAM it is allowed to use. So we can see here that it says XMX 1024M. And then this one is the same thing except it's XMS. So the XMX is the maximum amount of RAM that your Minecraft will be allowed to use by your computer, and then this is the minimum that it will be using. So if you're just going to be like a couple people playing on the server, it's probably fine just to leave it as it is here. But because I do have 8 gigs of RAM, I'm just going to change the numbers a second so you know how to do it if you want to. So I have 8 gigs. You never want to use the full 8 gigs or whatever amount of RAM you have because other things on your computer still need to use RAM. So what you're going to want to do is, I have 8 gigs, so about 5 is the max I would ever want Minecraft to be using at one time. So what we can do over here is, so right now it's saying 1024 megabytes, which is equal to 1 gig. So we don't have to convert. What we can do is just highlight that, then type a 5 and a capital G. So now that's the same as 5 gigabytes or however many megabytes that is. And then the minimum I'm going to have it be using, which is the XMS here. I'm going to highlight that and then type 3G. So that's 3 gigs that it will be minimum using. So and then the RAM just kind of helps to load the world and load stuff faster so that you don't have server lag and big lag spikes. Now what you want to do is go over here, go to the line below, and then type pause. Don't really know why, just know you got to do it. Save that, X out of that, and now what you want to do Well, first, if you don't see that it says .txt right here and it just says start, you want to go to View and then click File Name Extensions. Mine is already checked. If I uncheck it, then you can see that it just says start and it doesn't have the extension. But we want the extension so we can change it. So turn on the extension and then right click on the words right here and then go to Rename and then change the txt to BAT, which is a batch file. And it says it might not work, but it will work. So click yes. And now what you want to do is double click this to start the server. So now the server will start and it will add a few more files into the folder and then immediately crash. And it's supposed to do that. So as you can see, it did that, and now I press any key to continue. And now we can see that it added a logs folder, eula.txt, and server.properties. Server.properties will be important later. Logs we never really do anything with, and then eula.txt is what we're interested in right now. So double click that to open it. And essentially what the EULA is, it's an end user license agreement telling you not to like pay for items in Minecraft or something like that. It's essentially Mojang's terms and agreement, click here to agree type thing for their server. And then what you want to do is change right here where it says false, delete that, type true, and then save. So Control S, and then we can close out of this. Now we can start the server again from the start.bat. Now it's starting. And then you never really want to join until it says done in which this window here is called the console. And as we can see, it's preparing the spawn area, and now it's done. And from here, so right now the server is running. As long as this window is open, it can be minimized, whatever. But as long as this window is open, your server is running. And then from here you can type commands and stuff if you need to, so on and so forth. But right now we're actually going to close the server again. And if we go look in here, and as you can see, it added some more text files and a worlds folder. We don't really need to touch that now or ever. But if we go into the server.properties, double click that, now we can see that there's a bunch of different properties and settings that we can change about the server. So one thing that I like to do is command blocks, because those are nice to have sometimes, so we can go change that to true. And if you're using a crack and want to get on a server, you need to change online mode right here to false. If that's false, then it doesn't contact the Mojang servers to update like skins and stuff. So if you're playing in offline mode, I guess you would call it, even though it's still technically online because it's a server, then you're not going to have your skins and stuff. However, this needs to be disabled in order for people with a crack to be able to join the server. And then you can change everything else in here. You can change the stuff. Like if you want to play in hardcore mode, you can go change that to true, stuff like that. But for now, that's all you need to know, that if you want a crack, that needs to be false. I don't need a crack, however, so I'm going to leave it as true for now. And we shall continue forth, because that's the only thing that matters with a crack. So we can Control S, save that. And now our server is done. However, we need to make it so people are actually able to get to the server. Because right now, we need to port forward. And odds are the Minecraft default port is not forwarded, and people will not be able to access your server unless you have it forwarded. So what we do to forward this port is open Chrome back up, just make a new tab, and then you're going to want to type in 192.168.1.1 and hit enter. What this does is takes you to your router's page, so you can access it and change settings and stuff. And I will be showing how to do this specifically on a Linksys router. If you do not have Linksys, then odds are the process will be similar but still a little different. But it shouldn't be that much different, so just kind of fuss around with it, see if it works. And then I didn't have to log in now because it probably remembered me from before. But what you'll need to do is get your login. And if you don't know your login, I'll have a link in the description for all the default logins for the routers out there. There's like, it's a very comprehensive list. There's a lot. So what you're going to want to do if it's a Linksys router, go down here on the sidebar to security, and then go up here to apps and gaming. Click that. Then you're going to want to go to single port forwarding. And then from here, you're going to want to do add a new single port forwarding. And then type whatever you're going to want to call it. So I'm going to call this one Minecraft Video Server. And then the default port for Minecraft is 25565. And that's what you're going to want to type in the external port lane and in the internal port. Oh, it's giving me an error because I've already had this up here. So what I'm going to do now is actually not have this, and then I'll just re-enable mine. But you're going to want to type 25565 here and here, and you're going to want to set the protocol to both. And now I'm going to cut this part out because I don't remember how to find a device IP. Okay, so had a bit of a break there because I forgot how to do something. So now you have two IPs. You have a device IP and you have a public IP. The public IP, which I'm going to have a link in the description of how to get it, which is this tab up here, is that is the IP of yours that you're going to give your friends or whoever you want to be able to play on your Minecraft server. But what you want right now is your device IP, otherwise known as your IPv4 address. Of which now we got to go to Internet Access down here. Click that. And then click Network and Internet Settings. From there, you want to go down here to view your network properties. And then, I'm less familiar with this, but I think whatever is like the first thing here, or whatever one you're using. So I am hooked up to Ethernet right now, so this is what I will be using. I'm going to go down to IPv4 address, and then this is my address here. Don't worry about the slash whatever, if it has that. I'm also going to be blurring out this so you don't see all of my IP stuff, but just know where it says IPv4 address, it's going to be 3 digits, dot 3 digits, dot 1 digit, dot 3 digits. And then if it says slash and then another number, don't worry about that. You don't need it. So now that you have that, you can close out of here and then go type those last two sets right here. So in that case, mine is this and that, but again, you won't be able to see this because I'm going to blur it out. But just know that there's two blanks right here. And then you're going to want to click Enable and then Save. And then down here, you still want to click Apply and then OK. And now you have successfully port forwarded your router for Minecraft. So now you can get out of Chrome, and just going to make sure that I didn't forget anything a second. Okay, so now it's finally time to actually open up Minecraft. Actually, no. Go start your server first. So go to the Start That Bat, and then double click it. And then I'm just going to put my console off to the side for now. So now the server started, so you can minimize that, and then double click Minecraft. And then you're going to want to make sure that you are playing on the correct version, which for this tutorial is 1.12.1, but it's a very, very similar process for whatever version you're going to want to use, but you're probably going to want the most updated version. If you're not currently on this, then you're going to want to go to Launch Options and then Add New, and from there you can select the version that you want to use. but I have that selected already, so now we're going to click play, and then it will launch Minecraft. So now that is launching, and here we are. So now what you're going to want to do is go to multiplayer. Then you're going to want to click add server, of which I've done that already. So add server will come up, then the default name will be Minecraft server. I rename mine to video, and then server address. If you are the one hosting the server on your PC, you are going to want to type in localhost. That's all you need to do. But for your friends or whoever is going to be playing on the server, they are going to need your public IP address, which you can find at the site in the link in the description. And that is what they will put in here. And from there, you can click done. And now you can double click to join the server. And you're joined the server. And you hosting the server will almost always be able to get in. And then if you've done everything right, then your friends will be able to get in. And if they're not able to get in, go back through the tutorial and then make sure that you've done everything right, and then they should be able to get in. And now you are in your Minecraft world. But one last thing, if you want to be able to use commands, like all of this stuff, then you're going to want to go back to your console and then type, you don't need slashes for doing commands in the console. You're going to want to type OP and then your username. Or whoever else's username you want opt. Just know if they are opt, then they have a lot of power on the server and can do a lot of commands and ban people and kick people and stuff. So only opt trusted members. But that should be it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I will try and get back to you. But if you follow the tutorial exactly as I did it, you should be able to successfully make your own server. Thanks for watching.